Hello, hello, crafty friends. Today is Saturday, the first Saturday of August. Welcome to my August Jolly Holly card making class. I'm just setting up here. Perfect. I am live. Yay, so welcome. We're going to be playing with Jolly Holly today. As I stated, my name is Stacy, also known as CraftydivaUSA. You can find me all over social media by that name. Also, let me just flash, I do have a website, CraftydivaUSA.com. This is where you can pick up all of my kits and my instant downloadable tutorials. And here is my Stampin' Up shop. So you can just freeze this and, stop, pause the recording on the replay and snap this with your phone, and that'll bring you right to my Stampin' Up website. So I don't even need to discuss anything else about me. I could jump right into this month's class. Like I said, we're going to be playing with Jolly Holly. So I did not jump on the Christmas in July bandwagon. So I'm doing Merry and Bright in August, let's say, okay? So we're going to be featuring Jolly Holly. The next couple of months, my classes will all be Christmas themed cards. So if you're interested in picking up my kits, you can earn them free by shopping with me, or you can just purchase them. So this is a great set, has some great sentiments in here. Okay, now this is if you pick up the bundle, it's a hybrid embossing folder. So the embossing folder is awesome. That's the embossing folder. So with the dies, like I said, if you get the bundle, these are the dies that you get. You get these layering rectangles, the word joy, and some other little items there for the bells and the holly. But what makes this the embossing hybrid folder is that you also get this with the dies. This is, I'll show you, because one of the cards we're going to make will do a hybrid embossing. So what it does, it embosses and die cuts. So see, these are lifted here. That's the look you would get if you layer, because these layer together. So, you just got to get it in the right position and they will click in. I should have had this set up already. Hold on. Let me get this. Is it that way? I think it goes, whatever. I'll figure it out before we get to that card, and I'll show you at that time, which I should have had that set up already. Dang it. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It goes this way. Am I getting close? We should have this kind of, oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So this, see how it's lining up? And then you would put your paper in there and run it through your embossing machine, and then you get that look. So that's what we're gonna do, if I can line this up properly. Okay. Anyway, all right. So that's the hybrid embossing folder. This is the Stampin' Thin Cut. And then let's show you the cards that we're going to be making today. So this is using the embossing folder only, not as a hybrid. So you see it just embosses, and I love that. And sorry if when we get to that card, if I can't line it up, I might just have to emboss it just to keep going. But I probably should have prepped that because it does take a minute to line up. We're also going to make this card. Love that. Here is that card that I was just struggling with lining up, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And then card 4, we're going to make a super easy. I'm going to show you how to make a super easy fracture card. And if you pick up the tutorial, I have the diagram in there to do that. So I'm going to clean off my desk. I'm going to get ready, and we're going to start off with card 1. First, if you are new to my kits or tutorials, what you will get is a color. Well, you would have to email this to yourself, but my kit comes with a QR code that'll link you to this diagram that you can email to yourself and print out or just view on your device. There'll be a click here to bring you back to YouTube to watch the video that we're doing right now. I also have a full supply list. I give you pictures, cutting dimensions, and then we go into how to create the cards. But my card kits come with everything pre-cut and ready to assemble, so you basically just got to assemble the cards. But if you want my tutorial only, it goes through all the diagrams and everything to cut. So today's purpose of the class is I'm going to put the cards together for you as if you picked up my card kit, just to show you everything that you get in the kit and what you're going to be using. So I'm going to be using Real Red for this card. Now on my tutorial it says Real Red or Cherry Cobbler. You can use either or. I'm going to use both today. You do not have to use both inks. Just to save, you can use one. And same thing goes for cardstock, Real Red or Cherry Cobbler. If you only have one and you don't want to pick up any other of the supplies, just use what you have. Okay, so this is what your card kit will come with. Here's all the pieces. I have it all ready to go. Like I said, I had ran that already through the embossing machine. So this is going to be white on white. I really love the way this looks. And then we're going to make some banners. We're going to do some tone-on-tone stamping. And we're going to color this little guy. That's another banner. And then the inside. So I'm going to put my envelope on the side. Remember, stamp your envelopes. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to adhere these two pieces together. This is going to be for the inside of the card. So you can stamp this however, you know, whatever stamps you have in your stash, or if you have the exact stamp set, you can make it exactly how I do. But like I said, if you don't have the exact stamp set, you can use whatever you have in your stash. We all have lots of holiday themed stamps. And I didn't pull out my Merry Christmas. Here it is. So we're just, again, if you don't want the inside to say Merry Christmas, you change it up however you want. I'm just going to put Merry Christmas on the inside there. Let me grab a block. And we're also going to stamp Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes. So I'll get that on my block. It's so hot here in Florida. I don't know where you are, but you can't even go outside for 2 seconds because it's just so hot. I walked this morning with my girlfriend and we went at 8:15 and I was home at 9 and I had to jump in my pool. So I'm just going to stamp Merry Christmas right there. Just going to put this aside for a second. So I'm just going to grab this. I want to stamp Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes, but if you can see, I have it more to the left because I'm going to trim off a piece of the banner here. And I used my stylish shapes. I think I've used them in every single card kit that I've created month over month. I love stylish shapes. So I'm going to try to stay over to the left. Hopefully that's centered. Perfect. A little high, but that's okay. It's hard because I don't have it close to me to see over. It's off to the side. All right, so now I still need my red. We're going to do a little bit more stamping. Okay. Let me get all this out of my way. So this is Real Red cardstock, and I'm going to use that poinsettia stamp, and I'm going to just randomly stamp all around. Just going to put some scrap. See here? Just like that. I know, Kara, it's unbearable by you too. Ugh, it's horrible. Even like by mid-afternoon, my pool is like a bathtub. It's not even refreshing to go in. But this morning after walking, I did go in the pool because the sun wasn't on it yet and it was nice and refreshing. So I'm just adding some random on and off stamping. I don't want to have like a pattern, but and if you saw, I had posted, what's today, August 2nd? I posted on the 1st, my upline, Anne-Marie and I, a lot of you that follow me also know her, we're doing a virtual on August 16th. So if you're interested in that, I pinned the post. you'll find that at the top of my page here. Okay, so what we're gonna do now here, we're just gonna banner all 3 of those. So all I'm gonna do is, looks like I'm frozen, but no, I'm still here. I hate watching my other device. Facebook like froze on my iPad. Here we are. Okay. It has a problem of doing that. Never mind. Okay, so all you do here is kind of find a center point. Okay, I just eye it, little snip, and then you come in on each corner. Just like that. Do the same thing on this banner. So these are, I think this one's 2 inches here. So kind of finding like that 1 inch mark. So the DSP that I'm using that you will receive in the kit from me is take a bow, whatever. It's not available anymore, but again, you will get it in the kit. But if you purchase the tutorial only, you may have this DSP already, or just substitute it with any holiday themed paper you would like. So there are my 3 banners. Now, I just want to color. You will have to stamp. Obviously, part of Stampin' Up policy is we cannot stamp anything. So that's why I cannot send anything pre-stamped, but I can send you die cut. So I'll send you the die cut, and you will have to, you will have to color it in. I feel like I'm not live for some reason. Can someone just pop a comment? Let me know that I'm live here. I think I am. I have 5 people watching, but on my iPad, it shows that my live stream ended. So if someone can just give me a thumbs up or a comment that I'm live would be great. All right, so I'm using light cherry cobbler and light mossy meadow. So those are the 2 that I've opted to use. Again, if you have anything similar, you can go ahead and use that. Thanks, Jean, so much. So I'm just going to keep going and not worry about my other device. So I'm just coloring the berries. So again, use whatever you have. And then for the leaves, I'm using light mossy meadow. And I like to use the chisel side. I do like this side, but for bigger images. And I'll tell you why, because that's very juicy. And if you start, where's my scrap? So like the color kind of would go outside the lines. So you really got to watch because you're making thin lines, but it kind of expands, if that makes sense. But so I like to use for smaller pieces, I like to use that chisel side. And I try to stay away from the edges as much as I can because it does kind of blend, so to speak. And I just do light wispy strokes. So I'm only coloring the first one. The next few cards that I have prepped already, the leaves are colored just for sake of time. Plus, I know on the 3rd card, I'm going to spend probably 20 minutes trying to line up that dang hybrid embossing folder, which I should have had done already. But it's okay. I can speed it up on the replay. Okay, so I think we're done. Yeah, we are. So now I'm going to put my inside card base down. Is anybody who's watching crafting? I won't say anything. Hey, AJ, you're watching? All right, you picking up some tips? All right, so that's the inside of our card. Now what we're gonna do is I wanna pop this up. So I'm gonna put some foam on the back. I have my foam roll here instead of just using my small individual ones just for cost because I use a lot of this shit. Oh, excuse me, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. Stuff. Okay. So I'm just putting it on the back side. next Saturday I have my in-person card class. I hold in person in Satellite Beach, Florida, the second Saturday of every month. So if you're interested in that, I do have the information somewhere on my page. You can find it, or you can always reach out. So I'm just kind of I got to bring this closer to me, sorry. I'm lining this up with about a little bit of 1/8 of an inch around. I love the tone on tone. You're getting ready to make your Christmas cards? Awesome. Okay, so next we're gonna layer up these banners. So I wanna put the bigger one there. So I'm gonna just adhere that down. A little bit off to the side, right up to the top of that embossing, the embossed layer, because we're gonna use this little strip of cherry cobbler glitter paper to just cover that seam on the top. Now I wanna layer this one right on top, that tone on tone stamped piece. Right there. And then I'm gonna take this piece right here and then layer that. And if you want to make your banners a little shorter, you can totally do that. If you could see here, I had it a little bit. All right. So like I said, we're gonna take that little glitter strip and I'm going to bring this close to me. So I'm just going to layer it right along the top to seal all of that off. Awesome. All right. So next we're going to take our sentiment here. So you see what I mean? I want to just snip off that little edge right there. I'm going to put some foam right to the side. That should be good. Perfect. I think I lined that up actually perfect. So just about there. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip that over. Well, I can do it right from here. Make sure I have my right scissors. And I'm just resting. I have my scissor resting up against that layer right there. And just snip it off. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to take my holly and just attach that. I'll use a little bit of my green glue here. Just put a little dot. Okay, and I'm going to grab my gems and just throw a few of them around. Like I said, I went a little bit high on my stamping here, but that's okay. And then I'm going to put another one right between. All right, so this is a very duplicatable card that you can totally remake with any of the supplies that you have on hand so that you can make lots of quick Christmas cards. So that is card number 1. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think we did everything. Yep, got the inside layer stamped. So card 1 is finished. We're going to move on to card 2 now. Let me just get this out of the way. All right, so here's card 2. I'm going to clean up my station. So for this card, I'm going to use cherry cobbler ink, but you could absolutely, like I said, use real red here. If you don't have cherry cobbler cardstock, replace this with what you have on hand from your stash. All right, so I have my real red. I'm using some champagne rhinestones that are, I don't even know if those are pretty old. Okay, so here is the card. We have an inside. All right, so this card base is cherry cobbler. This will be all the pieces that you get. This is, I'm just going to show you. You don't get this in your kit. I just want to show you how awesome embossing foiled cardstock, just to give you an idea of something else, dude. That That's awesome. And now, since we have two-tone cardstock, I just want to show you too, with two-tone cardstock, you can emboss and then take a nail file and rub it over that so that it sands the paper down and that white starts to poke through. Okay, so just some different ideas that you can do with this set. All right, so the pieces that are going to come in your kit, here's that cherry cobbler pre-scored card base. Here's those two rectangles. Yeah, that looks gold, right? I'm going to show you a little trick there. Here's that great die cut. I also die cut a poinsettia stamped in black and out of that cherry cobbler ink. I do have my black embossed layer, and then here is my holly already colored, and then my piece for the inside right there. We're going to do some stamping, and then my front layer. So just to have some space on my workspace, I'm just going to layer these two together and then move them to the side because I don't need them right now. So just layer these two together. I love using non-traditional colors for Christmas cards. All right, so just layer these two together and then set that aside. We're good for a minute. Next, I'm going to take that inside and my cherry cobbler ink. I'm going to take that poinsettia stamp again, and then a sentiment that I'm using from the set. May your spirits of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. I'm just going to stamp that towards in the middle or the top. You know, sometimes I like to stamp at the top, however you prefer, but that's going to be my greeting on the inside. And then I'm going to take my poinsettia and stamp two at the bottom here. All right, and that is all the inking, that stamping that we're going to do in this card. So again, just to move along, let's adhere this to the inside of our card base because we're done with it. Now, I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper. So this is that small rectangle just cut out of basic white. This is, if anybody wants this, I will give you the Amazon link. Just send me a message. I love these deco, they're paint pens. It's oil-based metallic paint marker. So I have this in gold and I have it in silver. So when I shake it, you're going to hear the little ball in there, just like paint. Okay, so I want to shake it up really good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to outline, see where it makes the stitched of the embossed. Now, if you don't have a paint pen, think about doing this on cards. I've used just my regular markers. So I've outlined a border just using markers. I just want to do the paint pen just because it gives it a little bit more shimmer and it matches the gold cardstock of the Joy. So all I'm going to do is kind of roll across that sketched edge there, and just to make it look like it's another frame. So let me see if I can zoom in without messing this up. You know what? I don't want to mess with anything because Facebook, I have to learn to do my lives on YouTube or have recording. So I'm just starting here and trying to have a steady hand, which I do not, but the stitched around the rectangle allows me to stay in place. It's like keeping me in line. And I'm turning my paper. I'm not picking this up because it is paint. It has to dry for a second. So again, if anybody wants a link to these, just reach out to me and I will send it to you on Messenger. Okay, I'm just gonna let that sit a minute just so it dries because I don't want to mess anything up, and I can smell it. It's paint. How cool is that? Love it. I'm amazed right now. Okay. All right, so that's that. next. These two are going to lay together, but I'm just going to leave that a minute. And yeah, we're ready to get rocking and rolling on this card. Here is our base. We're just going to adhere that down. I try, when I do Christmas cards, I try to think of easy duplicatable cards, because even for myself, like I'll make every card that I'm going to give you in the next few months card classes are personal cards I'm making to send out. So for example, I'll probably remake this card 10 times. Every card in this kit, I'll make multiple times, maybe using different papers, different bundles, but the layout is what I'm going to use, and probably use these rectangle shapes, you know, but maybe other sets. So that's kind of how I think. I'm also going to be doing this year again my 8 weeks of Christmas series. That'll be through from, I don't have the dates exactly when I'm going to do it this year, but it will be October into November. I usually like to end it on Thanksgiving week. So that's probably what will happen again. And I'm also trying to do, I want to do my very first stamp camp. So I want it to be Christmas themed. So what that's going to be is I'm going to offer a whole bunch of cards and maybe 3D projects or gift cards and other holiday things, but you'll get a box from me of everything pre-cut and ready. You'll be invited to a private Facebook group, and I will do create all the cards there live with you at a certain time. And if you can't make it, the live presentations, then you can come back and craft at your own pace. So that I am scheduling for, again, it's going to be October, November time frame. I'm just going to put one of these champagne gems in the middle there, and also in the middle of my berries here. So look out for more information to come from that. So like I said, I'm going to have about 3 months of monthly card kits, all holiday themed. I'm going to do my 8 weeks of Christmas series, and that's going to be free on YouTube and here on Facebook. And then I'm going to do a stamp camp. So look for information on that. This we're going to pop up. Also, if you love roll foam tape, let me know. I've sampled a lot. This has been one that I've been using forever on Amazon. Stampin' Up! Does not have the roll. Again, I like to use the roll because I use a lot, but I do also use the Stampin' Dimensionals also, but it just depends what I'm crafting with. And this is my roll that I found that I've been using for years. It's very inexpensive. So, okay. Oh, darn it. I made an error. I forgot to wrap my and it's right here. I forgot to wrap my little ribbon. So before you adhere your, you'll get this cut. And that's why I messed up, because I didn't have a pre-cut for myself. So before you adhere this layer down, and it will be in your directions, you would want to wrap this around this layer. I wonder, let me see if I can pick it up. Yeah, you know what? I can. We're just going to perform a little bit of crafting surgery. Okay, so don't make the mistakes I do. Is this gonna work? Let's see if I can do that. Maybe I'm gonna have to come across the front. Hold on, I'll get it. This is great. I love for you to see me mess up. No, I seriously do, because it shows you that I'm human, right? Number one, I make mistakes and I fix them. I figure them out how to fix them. So that you can do that too. I just call this, we might make a bow here. We might just not make a knot. I might just do this different. Just hang with me. Let's just see how this comes out. I'm wasting a hell of a lot of ribbon, right? Let's see what we do here. So far, so good. Is it gonna work? Am I gonna be able to make a bow? Or should I just do the knot and save myself? Yeah, let's just do the knot. So what I want to do is somehow I want to overlap this. I'll get this. I will get this. I'm going to put this down, right to the edge, just like that. And maybe we'll wrap that over. Yeah, we're getting it. You watch what I do. We're going to overlap. I hope you are all getting a kick out of me, watching me perform card surgery. Look at that. Wouldn't even know, right? Now, I'm just going to put some liquid glue underneath. This is how we fix our mistakes, and no one will ever know. Okay? I'm just going to pick up a little piece under here because I need to get under that just for a second. Okay, now I'm going to take a piece, push it through. There we go. Now we're going to cover where I sealed it and make our knot, and no one will ever know that I messed up in making it. Right? Perfect. No one will know. There we go. I fixed it. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to now come in with my frame. Just put that in the middle there. Yes, it is very simple doing this. I love to do it. So think about doing that, Janice, with any of your markers, or if you pick up any of these paint pens. So now I'm just going to put some adhesive on, just some liquid adhesive on Joy here. I hope you liked, I did a scrapbook layout. I have to do more scrapbooking. It's so hard sometimes to find the time, and I really enjoyed it. The video is up on my YouTube channel. It was a fun layout, and I was using the new banners. Such a fun set. I'm going to be featuring that also in the virtual. Okay, I want to put on my berries right there. I'm using my third hand. Love to use my third hand. The best. Okay, so let me tell you about my tweezers, because you all know I talk about my third hand. I would not be able to craft without a great pair of tweezers. Look at these tweezers. Hold on. They are, the point is awesome. They're CTMH ones. If you are lucky enough to have these, I'm down to my last pair. Cherish them. They are the best. But I did find, let me show you this. I did find a great Amazon dupe, because Stampin' Up doesn't have tweezers. So look at this. Okay, this is the close to my heart. It's my Amazon dupe now. And it's a little bigger, but the point, look at that. It's even sharper. I haven't used it yet. I mean, I did use it a little bit, but I'm trying to save it. I want to order a couple more. But again, a great tweezer is your third hand. So if you need one of those, also let me know. I will, I'll send that to you. I'm probably going to create some kind of my favorites that I use on Amazon and post it in my private group. So I'll do that. Just give me a little bit, ladies, and I'll post something there. So I'm going to put this down right there. And card 2 is finished. Again, hope you like that card. Very easy, very duplicatable. And we're going to move on to card 3 now. Now we're going to move on to the card that I have to figure out the hybrid embossing folder. Let me get all this out of the way. Here's the card. I'm going to put it there. Let me just do this off to the side. Okay. There it is. 1 second. See, when I do it off camera, I did it in 1 second. I'm going to keep my hand there. So I'm going to flip it over a second. It clicks into place. Okay, you see? So that's how you set it up. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Emboss machine. Let's see if you can see this. Now, you may get a little flyaways here. It's totally okay, but you want to save them. Let me move my camera up so you get a better view of my machine here. So this is how I'm setting my plates up. So I'm using plate 4 and plate 1. Okay, plate 4 and plate 1. So what I'm doing is here's all the pieces. We'll go through that after we emboss this. I'm going to pull out that balmy blue piece. Again, in my card kit, you will get this already done for you. So I'm going to I laid my cardstock on top of this die, hybrid embossing folder, flipping it over. Okay, that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to put this in the machine with the edge, not the open edge, the sealed edge forward. And I'm just going to run this through. This machine is like butter. I only use this machine for all my embossing of my folders. I just love it for that. And then I have my electronic machine that I love for all my die cutting. All right, so let's just put that aside. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let me show you all the pieces that you're gonna get in your kit. Here it is. And we have a little inking to do. All right. So in this kit, I have the joy cut out in silver. You're also going to get the large rectangle in that silver. Love it. I just love it. I love shine. Small white. Okay, you have a little piece of ribbon here. This is the piece I want to draw your attention to right now. Again, you're not going to get this stamp, so unfortunately you're going to have the stamp set to do this, but I will die cut them for you. And then the poinsettia I just stamped in black, and then I went ahead and colored that with my marker. I'm going to move my envelope for now. All right, here is my card base, but let's do this piece first, and then we'll talk about that. I'm going to use a blending brush, a little bit of balmy blue. I'm going to take a scrap. Now, what I would do, I'm also going to need that die cut. Here it is. So I'm going to have to die cut. So what I would do is either blend my piece of paper first, then stamp, then die, or how I did it is it's already stamped. So I'm just going to put the color on those leaves. So do you see how it's kind of blended? That's all we're going to do. Or you can color these with your markers, whatever floats your boat. Okay. So that's all I'm doing is I really colored those, but using my blending brush. Okay, and now I just have to die cut them out. So see, there's just a little bit of color, so hold on, let me just cut these out real quick. Okay, let me make sure it lines up perfectly. Another one. Right, isn't that cool? I love that blended look. Let's just cut that second one. All right, beautiful. So we can get all of this out of the way. All right, so we have all of our stamping. I want to put a little gem in the middle. I'm just trying to prep for sake of time so we can get to that because that might take us the longest. So I'm going to throw a gem right in the middle of my poinsettia there. right, and I'm gonna build this layer up. So I just want to adhere these two together. Now again, if I had both of these layers in white, I could have used my silver pen and it would have looked, paint pen, and it would have looked exactly the same. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to get that joint down in the middle, kind of lower to the bottom. Okay, I think we're good. Push that down so that adheres. Why isn't that sticking? All right, now I'm going to take these two branches, since they're going the same direction, one's going to go down and one is going to go up, and then this middle piece is going to cover that, you know, seal it together in the middle. So you just want to get a little adhesive on that. So this side's going to go up. Just like that. Let's get some adhesive on this piece. Okay. And that is going to go down like that. Now, I'm going to take one of these dimensionals, put it in the middle there, because that is where my poinsettia is going to go. Just like that. Okay, so let's set this aside. That's what that little cluster should look like. And now we are gonna play, let's not forget our, let me banner this, long scissor. Okay. This is just kind of gonna stick behind that, just as another little, right? Okay, so let's look at this hybrid embossing folder now. So I do have one, you're gonna see I do have one little piece that's gonna break away. So that's why you have to save them. See that piece right there? That little piece right there is always gonna break away, but let's save that. So just hold on, that always happens. It happened on this card too. And you just glue it. And if you have any other pieces that break off, you just glue it. So what this did was it embossed, but some of the leaves are also die cut. So see the edges, so you can lift them up. That's why I'm able to take my sentiment layer here and I just like overlapped it in just like that. Okay, so that's what that is for. So you can make cards going any way you want. That's the hybrid emboss. It's cut and emboss. So let's move this out of the way. Bring in our card base. And all we're gonna do now, now what I also did is I took my balmy blue, and you'll see here, I just embossed the edges. I kind of went a little bit on the inside berries, whatever you want to do. It's just for a little added texture. You can even eliminate this step, but if you want to just and when I did this one, I actually inked my cardstock first. So think about doing that. If you want to do that, you can always ink your cardstock first or after. I've done it both ways. Okay. So now I'm just going to go in, put some little bit on some of those berries. I'll bring this up so you can see. There's no right or wrong. Okay. Let me show you. All right. So now we're going to take our card base and we're going to put some liquid glue all around this, being gentle. Now, okay, first, before you put glue all around, be mindful of the pieces that you want to pop up. So I know I want this piece, so I'm going to kind of bend that forward. I know I want that piece, and then I believe it's going to be that piece. So I'm just going to bend those forward. So as I'm putting glue, I know to stay away from those pieces, if that makes sense. Okay? But everything else, I'm okay. Even though it has some cuts, I'm just putting some light glue, but making sure all around the edge so it stays. But it's okay if any of the middle pieces also pop up. Okay. I think that should be good. So now, we're going to put that down. My hand's slipping. Just hold on. Just like that. Okay, perfect. There's my two pieces. Did not get it here down. Now, where's that little piece? Where's my little piece? Oh, here it is. Okay, we need that piece. Okay, so now I come in like, see, this piece doesn't have too much glue, but I need a little bit of glue under there. I'm gonna put some more glue right here. And like that piece could stick up a little bit if it wants. Okay, this is the piece that's gonna hold my sentiment. Okay, so now this little guy here, all you have to do is get some glue on the back. And then get it into place. It's just a puzzle. Link it up. There you go. All right, so now I'm just gonna take my piece of ribbon. I just want that kind of in the middle there. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive. Where is my craft? Here it is. Love my little craft map. All right, that's just gonna go just down in the middle like that. Okay, and then here we are going to, oops. And just get that in your desired location. And then come in with some more gems and pop them, you know, wherever you want. Put a few in the middle of the little berries here. I think I just have 2 on my card. And I think I'm gonna put another one right there. No, I'm not. All right, not as long as I thought it was gonna take, but here is card 3. And we are moving on to the last card, which is our fracture card. And I'm going to bring you back to the tutorial. So you will get this in the tutorial. So I'm going to show you how to do that now, but there's 2 diagrams you're going to follow for creating this card. Okay, and that will be in the tutorial as mentioned. And we're definitely going to need liquid adhesive. So I'm going to sit down a minute. Okay, because my back's killing me. I'm going to need, oh, here's my card. Let me show you the card. I'm going to use different cardstock this time. Again, what you will get in your kit will be a similar, something from this pack, but it might be a different, design. So today I'm going to do this, everything the same, but using this DSP. So we're going to cut this up, and this can be duplicated with any card, any DSP. You just need a 6x6 piece of paper. So I know that our tool cuts and scores, but I would like to do it separate. I like to score separately. So I'm going to cut, I'm going to stand up. So the first thing we're going to do is let's just cut our DSP. So we're going to cut this at 2 1/4. Am I at 2 1/4 here? Yeah. 2 1/4. And then we're going to cut this at 4. Okay, so you have these two pieces. And then you're going to take this piece right here and cut this at 3. So you have 2 equal parts. All right, so that's that cutting that we need. That's all we have to do there. And we're going to do some scoring. But first, let's go over the pieces that are going to come in your kit. All right, so I went ahead and did the stamping and coloring just because I did not know, I did not want to make the video that long, but I want to show you I heat embossed here. We all know how to heat emboss. I've done this forever. Janice, this is my first time doing a fracture card. I don't quite jump quickly when everybody jumps and goes crazy on the bandwagon when something new comes out, right? I like to bring it back and be like, oh my God, that was so easy. So I wait a little bit. So this was actually my first fracture card. Okay, so I heat embossed this, right? And I just used gold embossing powder, stamped it in Versamark, sprinkled my embossing powder, and then heat set it. I also did that using gold for the bell here. Okay, so you don't have to, you stamp whatever you want. Embossing is optional. I also made, which in the kit, you will get a little tiny real red bow. Then we have our cardstock piece here that's gonna layer there. We have some strips. This is what's gonna make our fracture. So 3 are the same size and then 1 is a different size. And then we have our pieces for the card. So I didn't stamp, but you will get a layer for the inside, for your inside card base. But that's, like I said, I didn't stamp any. You can do whatever you want there. So the one for the outside, this is the piece we need. So you're gonna start there, and that's where we're gonna do our scoring. So again, you will follow this in the diagram, but we are going to score along the top at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to score 3/4 of an inch along the top. Then I'm going to turn my portrait style and I'm going to score 1/2 inch on the left side and 1/2 inch on the right side. That's all you need to do. So 1/2 inch. And then 1/2 inch. And this is why I like to use a separate scoring board, just this nice small one that I have, because I don't have to turn my paper. I could just kind of do left and right. Okay, so this might be a little hard to see, but nobody's gonna see. I think I said nobody's gonna see that for every card this class. But there's your score lines. This is just gonna help you make your fracture easier, okay? There, it's just a guide for you. Nobody's gonna see. Okay, so what you wanna do is you're gonna take your piece, I believe this is real red. Let me do this high so you can see. So you're gonna hold this as on a diamond shape, and you're gonna use the top score as your pointer, and see how it goes a little bit off to over each score line. So that is how this will help you guide that. So all I'm going to do is put some adhesive. Now I'm going to put that in place. Always guys out in the middle of the video. All right, so I'm going to line that up again, right in the center, and then it kind of overlaps each side. Okay, that looks... Okay, that looks very centered. Okay, and we're always going to start on the upper right portion of your card, and you're definitely going to need your liquid adhesive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little line right against my cardstock here, and I'm just going to free draw to the end. Same deal here, just like that. Okay, Let me bring that up for anyone that's not done these before. Then I'm going to take one of those longer strips and I'm just going to butt it right up against my cardstock, and a little smidge may hang off. And that is the point. Just like that, okay? Don't worry about the overhang. We'll take care of all that. Now we're going to turn it and we're going to do that same thing, but this time we're going to butt it up against that one and go straight down. So come in with our liquid glue. Just like that. And you all know that the liquid glue dries clear, so don't worry about that. Just make sure it's nicely butted up. Okay. Now we're going to turn. Same thing. Put that piece up against there. And we're just following this diamond shape all the way around. Okay, and then last, you're going to take that smaller piece, and that's going to fit, third hand, that's going to fit perfectly in there, all right? I'm just going to put it on this glue to make it easier for me. And then just place that down, right? Perfectly fits in there. All right, so now we're going to flip that over and you're going to trim off any of those pieces that are overhanging. I'm using the wrong scissors in case I got, and I did get a little bit of glue. These are my ribbon scissors. These are my adhesive scissors. Nope, we're right. All right, so we're so far so good, right? All right, so now we're going to come in with those cardstock pieces we had. Remember, we have those 2 equal pieces, the smaller and the longer. We're going to start off with the smaller. The longer. This smallest piece is our last piece. So here now, we're going to put adhesive all here, and we're just going to do that same thing, and you're going to have overhang. So if you want to use liquid adhesive here, if you want to use your tape runner here now, doesn't really, everything ends on me. Damn it. All right, I'm going to have to finish with my liquid. Okay, so this right there, turning this side, we're going to use one of these big ones now. Okay, you want to fit this cardstock right up against that. Okay, right up against that. Turn, we're going to use this other piece here, and we're going to fit that right up against that. And push it in. Okay, and then this last piece is going to fit, and you want to make sure you're using the 2 1/4. I believe this is, hold on, yep, you want to use the 2 1/4 inch side and not the 2 inch side. That's the side you want. Okay, so we are just going to quickly, there, put a little, where's my glue? Glue here. All right, just make sure all that is nice and adhered down. Then we're gonna flip this over and trim everything off. So now if you want to use your paper trimmer, whatever you want to use here to make it easier for yourself is what I would use. I'm okay just doing it with my scissor. Just like this. Just cut all these off. Or to make it quicker, use your paper trimmer, whichever you want to do. We are just about finished. Okay, that looks cool. Love it. Came out good. I got a little piece right there. That's okay. I'll put my bell cover on that. All right, so now I'll get rid of my scraps. That's it. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up my sentiment in the middle here. So let's do that. Okay. We are almost finished. All right, so I'm gonna put that in the middle, just like that. Now your bow, you want to put it at the top, you want to put it at the bottom. Actually, this one I think I'm going to put at the bottom. I'm going to use a little glue dot. Just like that. I'm going to put my holly and berry right here, just like that. And now what I did was, oh, our bell, we're going to put our bell on some 3D adhesive. Let's see, can I cover that? Nope, it's okay. All right, now I'm going to come in with my card base. Again, stamp, put whatever you want in the middle. I'll do that another time. And I'm going to put some adhesive on my card base. And if you wanted to make another layer before you put this down, you absolutely could. If not, just put this right to your card base. Let's just rub that down. Okay. Just like that. So here is our fracture card. Very easy. Again, very duplicatable to do at Christmas or any time for that matter. So that is it. Let me bring back in all of the cards. So this is our fracture card. I'll put this one out because it's brighter to show on camera. But again, look, any color coordinates, right? Love it. Here was card 3. This was using that hybrid embossing folder. Then card 2, we did that fun painting around the trim there and used that embossing folder. And card 1. So those are all the cards. Again, this was the Jolly Holly, which I don't even know, here it is, my bundle, because by this time my desk is a mess. So this is the Jolly Holly photopolymer stamp set with the hybrid embossing folder and dies. That's what I used today to create these cards. Again, you can pick up my card kits at any time on my CraftydivaUSA.com website. This kit will be up by the end of today with the instant downloadable tutorial. And every one of my card kits and tutorials are there. And then if you wanted to shop on my Stampin' Up website, this is that QR code that'll bring you directly to my website. And I hope everyone has a wonderful crafty day. Thanks, Jean, for sticking with me. Have a wonderful day, crafters. Take care.